Ladies and gentlemen, Nottingham Forest are a mess. And here's why. Hello everybody, welcome to another video on the channel, and today is the very positive video of why Forest are a complete and utter mess at the moment. Now listen, there's a lot going on at the moment. There hasn't been one normal day all year. There has been an absolute essay of things that have gone completely wrong at Forest at the moment. And I'm going to try and, give some theoretical reasoning to why that is, if that is in fact possible. So sit back, relax, and try to enjoy as I try and get to the bottom of why we are crap. But yeah, without further ado, let's go. Now listen, there's no beating around the bush, there's no disputing, we have been completely done in sideways by the officials this season. That's not a debate. Obviously, I'm not trying to say it only happens to us, like, playing like the victim card or anything like that. As much as my TikTok comments like to say that. However, quick plug, follow me on TikTok, please, thank you. Listen, everyone gets the odd bad decision, apart from Man City. Every single team, at some point, has had a dodgy call. Even like Liverpool. But it seems to be a reoccurring thing. And I found a very interesting tweet that I'm going to put on screen. So shout out to this person. I can't remember the account off the top of my head. However, they did miss a couple, but I'm just going to go through the officials when they've got stuff right and wrong for us. So on the occasions that, referees and VAR's gone in our favour, has been two occasions. When Burnley's second goal against us at home was wrongly disallowed, and when we played Brentford at home and drew, they should have had 2 penalties. That's, that doesn't mean they would have scored the penalties, but, the chances are they probably would have. But now, going on to, when we've been hard done by the refs. Against Man United, about game week 3, was it? Worrell was wrongly sent off, and Rashford did the most blatant dive ever. It still lives rent-free in my head. There's a blatant dive I've ever seen, and United get a penalty for it. But, United like to play the card of, oh, the referees are against us, Fergie's right, the refs are shite, But moving on, Everton, Yates should have had a penalty. Bournemouth, Bolly, I can't get over that. Bolly was wrongly sent off for winning the ball. Awoniyi should have had a penalty against Newcastle. Bournemouth should have gone down to 10 men in the first game. Brentford, Tony moved the ball about 2-3 yards for the free kick, so the free kick went in. Bournemouth away, Clivert should have been sent off. That's one of the ones that he did in fact miss. West Ham, this one isn't as affected because we still won the game, but Nico Williams should have had a penalty, but at that time it was 1-0, so that could have been a massive factor in us not getting a win there. And Liverpool, Tierney stopping play when we were on the attack. That free kick ended up in Liverpool winning the game. And Tottenham, Maddison should have been sent off for punching Yates. And Everton, we had 3 penalty appeals. I think 2 of them were stonewallers. But equally, the first one, if it was like a Man City or someone like that, they probably do get the penalty. So it depends how you want to look at it, really. So listen, I'm not saying, we're the only team. Like Wolves, I believe if all of the officials got stuff right in the Wolves games, they will be 6th at the moment. So listen, Wolves have also been hard done by. I'm sure there's other teams that have been harshly done by as well. But it's about time that it's getting more documented about how badly teams are being finessed by the referees. Because I've seen nothing from the mainstream saying anything about how many decisions have gone against us. Same applies for Wolves, really. So this is obviously something out of the team's control, out of the hierarchy's control. But I think it's important that I bring it up, for some context. Now, I do want to touch on the Everton game, because I'm filming it on Monday. You're probably going to be seeing this on Tuesday. I wanted to, some time to gather my thoughts, gather some, some factual and important points from this game. So, full time at Goodison Park, we did lose 2-0 to Everton in what was a pretty crap game to watch. Let's not beat around the bush here. Unless you're an Everton fan, Fair play to Everton. I want to get that, out there. Fair play. They didn't play the prettiest stuff. We had more of the ball for one of the first times this season. And, we did create some good opportunities. Nico Williams had a good chance. Gibbs White had two good opportunities. Chris Wood got into some good areas and had a good chance. So listen, we had plenty of opportunities to get on the score sheet. We should have gone 1-0 up to that Nico Williams chance. It was a good save from Pickford. And let's not obviously forget the 2... I'm going to say 2 penalties because I don't think the Reina one is a penalty. But the 2 on Hudson-Odoi, the handball and the challenge on Hudson-Odoi are both stonewall penalties. That's not a debate, okay? However, on to the game, you know, Everton, they had a game plan. They scored 2 beautifully executed goals. You know, fair play. They did their job. You know, they didn't know that. They didn't intend. They didn't plan for a Luton fan to be on VAR. Okay. Now listen, I've seen a couple of, you know, the counter argument being, Stuart Atwell was VARing, you know, Sheffield United. He's had 4 times this season. Firstly, Sheffield United are well and truly out of the relegation race. I believe they have to win every single one of their games, and have to hope that basically all of us above drop points. So it's incredibly unlikely, okay? So also, and it doesn't say when or what point in the season. We're at the crunch end of the season. This was the 5th to last game of the season for us, okay? And we have I'd say 2 on paper massive games left. This was our 3rd to last massive game left. We've lost that. That's in the bin. Nothing can change, unfortunately. So we have Burnley and Sheffield United left. Burnley's not till last game of the season. So what my point is, Stuart Atwell has not VAR'd or refereed a game for Sheffield United that has been at a more pivotal and important point in the season. So that point's completely irrelevant now. And listen, like, if he sees a penalty that's 50-50, like the first one, like on the one on Retina, he's obviously going to swing in that favour. Listen, I don't know, surely you would think 1 point in the relegation battle, you know, you wouldn't put a fan of the team in the relegation zone to referee the team just above the relegation zone. Because Luton want to be there. Like, neither of us want to be where Luton currently are. Okay, so it's a complete and utter disgrace, quite frankly. I don't care, like, in terms of the map, we are not rivals in that sense, you know. We are not rivals. But in terms of trying to stay in the division, we are massive rivals. We're massive rivals. So why he was on that, I don't know. But in terms of performance, I don't think it was awful. We've definitely had better performances, but equally we've definitely had worse performances. Equally, if the first penalty gets given, the chances are we go 1-0 up. If the second penalty gets given, we equalise. The third penalty, I think we equalise as well. It could be, you know, I think it was an equalising goal, sorry. So, again, so much changes at that point onwards. So, in terms of Everton, they had a game plan. They worked it very well. Like, fair play. I'm not trying to take anything away from Everton. The beef is with the PGMOL and Stuart Atwell. Okay. So I don't want to criticise too much from the players or the management because, quite frankly, I think since February, our results and particularly performances have improved quite drastically. I think there's only been 1 game in the league where I think we've been poor, and that was the Brighton game when we lost 1-0. That's the only game I think, yeah, we weren't at it. We were very, very bad. They could have had a man sent off, as I mentioned. So, but equally, we weren't at the races. That's the 1 game since February. I think we've been very, very poor. So, in terms of, that's why I'm not really criticising the players or the management or anything like that. As much as I don't think Nuno's going to be here for very long. I don't think he's a long-term manager. I think if we go down, he'll probably resign. If we stay up, I think it's just a matter of time before Marinakis pulls the trigger again. Which is a beautiful segue into the ownership section. Now listen, I understand the ownership can't control the dodgy VAR calls. I understand the ownership can't necessarily directly, you know, impact the players or the manager's performance. However, there needs to be a few things that needs to be brought up in this video. I'm going to start with season ticket prices. Now, I'm not a season ticket holder myself, so I just want to raise this point because this is actually something that could affect, you know, the die-hard, the loyal fans, you know, the fans that go up and down the country, etc. So, there's been a massive rise in season ticket prices and all that. With the cheapest season ticket for next season is going to cost 550 quid. The average season ticket for an adult, which would have cost 650 quid this season, next season will now cost 850 quid. The best part of £1,000 to go and watch Forest, who will be lucky to stay in the Premier League. Let's not beat around the bush here. We're going to be lucky to stay up. So an adult could be paying 850 Great British pounds to watch us go to Plymouth. I want this to sink in for a second. We could be hosting Plymouth, and we're paying people are paying 850 quid. That's rotten. And also, BBC Radio Nottingham, I believe, asked for the ownership or Nottingham Forest, a hierarchy, to comment on it, and they refused to comment. It's not a good look. And I believe this is for what was a youth season ticket, so what, 18 to 23, I believe, what cost us 850 quid 2 years ago. Now costs, I believe it's 550 quid. In 2 years, listen, I understand there's obviously going to be a fair price rise. You're in the Premier League. You're going to watch some of the best teams in the world come to the City Ground. I'm sorry, there's no world where that warrants that much. And we're not even playing well. Well, I say, especially at the first half of the season under Cooper, we were playing miserable stuff. So yeah, that does not warrant the best part of a grand. I say we're still not playing pretty stuff now. It's not entertaining to watch. But obviously, you're in the Premier League, you expect that price tag. So again, also not necessarily disputing a slight rise, but this is just taking the biscuit now. I do want to talk about, you know, the big man at the top, the guy at the top, Evangelos Marinakis. Now, listen, I'm fully in the camp of, you know, he doesn't, you know, directly affect performances, etc. But the Liverpool game, why is he coming on the pitch? Like, yes, we've lost in the 99th minute. The referee has had a honker of a decision. He doesn't need to be on the pitch. Why is he on the pitch? Why is he on the pitch? What's he going to do? Like, get Paul Tierney to get on his knees and start begging him, oh, I'm sorry, sir, please, I didn't mean it. No, it's not going to make the situation any better. So, why is he on the pitch, firstly? Fulham game, when we got piped 5-0, he chucks his lanyard and he just leaves. What sort of example does that set, ladies and gentlemen? What sort of example does that set to, you know, the players? What would that at that time put in Steve Cooper's mind, who was fighting for his job at that stage? What seed would that plant in his mind? That's not going to make him feel, you know, confident. That's not going to make him feel great about going into work the next day. Listen, I don't want to make this all on the ownership, because it's there's a lot of different things that contribute to this shite sandwich. So, but I think it's important to bring this ownership up, because the season ticket prices obviously affects the fans' morale, because they've gone from paying some fans not even 200 quid 2 years ago to paying the best part of £1,000 for next season, and we might not even be in the Premier League. Obviously, from that perspective, I understand you've got to run a business and all that, but we get millions, tens of millions from sponsorships as a Premier League side. Every Premier League side does. So it absolutely baffles me in that sense. And also, Forza Garibaldi, who do all the brilliant tifos for pretty much every home game. There was talk about, or maybe doing a protest one because of the extortionate prices and season tickets. There was talk about that. I'm not sure if that's going to go ahead for the Man City game or not. However, there was obviously, they put out a statement saying, oh, it's going to be quite difficult because the tifo for the Fulham game, which is on screen now, that was almost shut down for being too negative. I don't quite see how that's negative in any way, shape or form, to be honest. But yeah, it just doesn't make sense. It's not a good look from the ownership department. And obviously, if something, you know, isn't looking good at the top, it's going to have a trickle-down effect. It's not going to do any favours for the morale. Anyway, I want to conclude this on the final subject of where do we go from here. So, listen, we've got Manchester City next. Right, let's be real, it's a write-off. We have to just park the bus, hope they leave their shooting boots at home, and just try and do a copy and paste of what we did last season when they came to our ground. Just park the bus, hope they miss most of their chances, and try and get the odd shot or two on the break and hopefully score. That should be the game plan. There should be no pressure from us going into this game in terms of from the management. There shouldn't be, like, just as long as we keep the scoreline respectable, because obviously goal difference could be, you know, an important factor. And then after that we have Sheffield United away, then Chelsea at home, and then I believe we conclude with Burnley away. So, listen, Chelsea, I think it really depends on their next couple of games, because they might just have nothing to play for, which could be a very important factor, because they might not be, you know, all in it, because if they've not got anything on the line. So, hopefully we can try and get something from that game. And then, fingers crossed, you know, Burnley doesn't have anything riding on it, but the chances are it will. So, yeah, the Sheffield United game is massive, and quite frankly, if we don't win that, we may as well just pack it in. I do not see it. If you can't beat Sheffield United, I do not see a world where we can stay up. It's like last season losing to Southampton. If we had lost to Southampton, just pack it in. The Sheffield United game is of the similar calibre to the Southampton game. It was similar points in the season. We just need to win. No matter how it's done, whether it's pretty, whether it's ugly, just win. In terms of the ownership now, I'm not in the position, sell the club or anything like that. But everything needs to just be done slightly just differently. From obviously the statement, when it comes to the statement, I think what everything was stated was spot on, but it's not something that should be posted from, you know, a professional admin account. It makes us look bitter. It just doesn't make us look, you know, it doesn't paint us in a good light. And like I said, the second statement that was put out, you know, the Monday morning was much more well thought about, much more along the lines of what a football club should be posting. Now, I'm not sure if they were told to do this or if this was off their own back. I'm going to assume they were told to do this because the post is still up currently. But yeah, but it just needs to be, stuff needs to be done slightly better from the top. And then, because obviously it all has a trickle-down effect, and it's going to affect the players and the coaching staff and all that. But yeah, when it comes on the pitch, listen, Man City just park the bus, just try and get something on the break, you know, and just keep the scoreline respectable. That is what the game plan should be going into Man City. Then Sheffield United, we have to beat Sheffield United. Hopefully Chelsea don't have anything on the line because they do have a few games in hand. Hopefully they don't. Hopefully we can try and get something from that game. And then Burnley, again, similar game plan to Sheffield United. We just got to go and try and win the game as well. Hopefully there is nothing on the line for that one though, but I think there will be. So yeah, thank you all for watching this video. A little more negative than what I do like. But yeah, sorry for no videos last week. No real reason other than I had liked some ideas. However, I am posting more frequently on TikTok. Slightly more, you know, light-hearted comedy sketch-esque sort of thing. So, you know, if you want to check that out, feel free to do so. And yeah, I'll thank you all for watching. If you want my Twitter, it's linked in the description. And I'll see you all very soon. Goodbye.